Welcome to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. Let's give him the business.
Hey everybody, today is July 12th, 2022. I'm your host, Jiroc the Viking, and joining me today are my fellow Vikings, Gwen the Shield Maiden.
Hey.
Jarl Tulkas.
Hey everybody, I'm back.
Bambi the Shield Maiden.
Hello there.
And joining us for the first time is Viking Leaf.
Hello, everyone.
So Leaf, welcome to the podcast, your first time on the podcast. We're so excited to have you today.
Thank you.
So tell us, Leaf, what are some of your favorite games before you discovered Valheim? What genres did you like to play? And maybe if you have a couple of specific games that took up your time before Valheim became number one. I'm assuming it's number one right now.
Yeah, definitely number one right now. I think before this game, it would probably have been the one that consumed the most time in my life. Probably Dark Age of Camelot.
Ooh.
So I played that game for a while. How many people played that? Anybody?
I played it. Yeah, that's an old school game.
Too old for me, I guess.
Yeah, Dark Age of Camelot came out quite a while ago. What was it? 2001.
Yes.
So
right
21 years ago.
Yeah, so that was
damn.
a big one for me. That was like the MMO, like my first introduction, because EverQuest was right around then. So never played one. I killed my party members many times. Yeah, I was a hunter in Midgard, so I would help pull, and I got commonly referred to as the person who just loved to pull everything, because I'd just shoot the thing in the back and then it would all come, and I'm like, let's just kill it, because
Yeah, and a lot of those MMOs, they have like groups of enemies, and you'd try to pull one, but you'd end up pulling all of them, and then they end up in a party wipe a lot of times if you pulled everything.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't get like a bone mass buff or anything like that, and it was just I was like, I'd see like the village, and I'd be like, let's just take it on all at once, and they'd be like, no, and everybody would run away, and I'd be like, why'd everybody run? But I invested way too much time in college in that. So were MMOs your game of choice over the years? So MMOs became kind of my game of choice, and then I met my future wife and realized that MMOs shouldn't be my game of choice anymore. For reasons.
Yeah, because they take up so much time.
Yeah, I think there's a reason they're called time sinks.
Yeah,
so
sounds like you switched over to the game of life.
Yes, yeah, there you go. Yeah, if you want to pronounce the name that way, sure. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Some people call me Life on the server too, so that's like weird.
Oh,
but yeah, no, I did switch over to the game of life. I didn't like that as a kid. Anybody else?
Well, yeah, I played Dark Age of Camelot a little bit, but I came from Ultima Online. The top down, the first like real online MMO, the top down isometric view, and then Dark Age of Camelot was one of those first that gave us that first person perspective, that over the shoulder camera or / first person perspective. And it was pretty groundbreaking when it came out.
Yeah. One of the things that I liked about it too, I mean, like you look back, the art is everything's super dated on it, but I still feel like they were trying to elicit that almost like what Valheim's encompassed with the different biomes. So like when you went somewhere, you felt something, like there were forests, there were dark, creepy places, there were mountain thingies like that, where you would feel something.
Yeah. I'm guessing no one else here played Dark Age of Camelot.
Nope. No, I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah. Well, awesome. So how did you actually discover Valheim? Can you tell us how you got exposed to it?
So I discovered Valheim because, let's see here, one of my buddies was mentioning to me because I read manga, I watch anime, all that crazy kind of geeky, nerdy stuff like that. But I had been recently watching How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I need to find myself like a good RPG or something, right? Because totally got an itch for that after watching that. I don't know if
And
you guys
that is an
watched
anime, right? For reference.
Yeah, it's an anime. It's actually there's 12 graphic novels of it too. So if you want, you can actually go back and buy it and actually read it. But it is an anime. So you can go watch it, find it, and it just totally got me in the mood for something like an RPG. And he's like, "You should check out Valheim." And I went, "Okay." And so I started playing with him and another buddy on like a private server they had. And then we played through, we beat the game to its current iteration. And then I kept building for like an extra 600 days on their server. And they completely stopped. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go do a couple more playthroughs, I guess, on my own. And so then I did like weird things. Like I started to do a completionist playthrough, and then I stopped because I heard about Hearth and Home coming out, and I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna save that playthrough, and then I did another one where I'm like, I'm just gonna do spear only, and then I decided to do knife only. With the knife, I did use a bow too, but I did all those, and then I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, still want to build, still want to play in Valheim, and then I found Jiroc, so
wow, awesome.
Here I am.
And I guess you found me probably on YouTube, like most.
Yeah, I actually found you early on YouTube. You had done that boat yard build.
Oh yeah.
Like the area, like how to build the boats and everything else. And I actually did one of those on the first servers I had, and the boats kept falling off. They like wiggle off. Yeah.
So you didn't follow my tutorial precisely then.
Not precisely. And Brudoc was mentioning to me, like, if you aim at the water and then you quickly snap around and click, the boat will drop and then you can build it up, and it doesn't shutter off that way. I don't know.
So yeah, they're very finicky though. They
are super finicky.
Yeah, any build pieces touching them, or if you happen to push it the wrong way with your character, you can cause it to start moving and glitching and then get out of position. But yeah, if you get lucky, you do it just the right way and leave it alone, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it really does.
Yeah. Well, awesome. What has so you found me on YouTube, and so far, so you've been with us since when? Do you remember when you joined us?
January, I think.
January.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so in January,
been a while.
Yeah, we've had, well, we have the permanent Viking Playground server. We have the resource server, which resets every 2 weeks. And then we had our season 1 servers that we ran 3 different versions of, like a regular version, a NoMap, and a hard mode. Which version of season 1 did you play?
I played on NoMap for a bit, and then I played on hard mode for a bit. And during all that, you guys somehow convinced me to be a community manager, and I somehow fell into being Jarl of Loki at the same time. So I couldn't do as much as I wanted to on the seasonal servers.
Yeah.
Oh, there was that too. Oh
yeah, we totally appreciate you volunteering to be one of our community managers. It definitely takes a lot of help from the community to keep the ship sailing, because we do have so many people, especially after the season 2 server launched recently. We onboarded a bunch of new people. So
yeah.
I've been seeing all the mail application for the server just at least 5 a day sometimes. This is crazy.
You're just getting spammed with our email while you're away, huh?
Yeah. one day I was really tired. I was going through my own, just saw 10 new emails from the server. I was about to message you, hey, get me out of there. I don't want to receive those mails. Please.
Yeah, that was the weekend I went on vacation too. I think that was the weekend over the 4th.
Yeah, the 4th of July here in the US, and well, just summer activities in general. A lot of people are out and about and doing things. I wanted to ask before we get into a bunch of cool Valheim stuff and our new seasonal server, has anybody done anything interesting over the last week or two? And Tolka, since you've been gone for several weeks, probably a month or more now, maybe two almost. What have you been up to?
Well, long story short, I was involved in a reopening of a restaurant. The previous owner of the restaurant I worked at sold the place to another company, and they closed it down. And now the last 1-2 months, we were talking things, getting ready for everything, and already, just in the last weeks, I've been working 14 days, 14 hours, 14 days, 14 hours a day, back and forth. And but my chefs were surprised how come we're still so motivated. Because anyone else would have just complained or said insults or stuff like that. But we just kept going. We were having fun finally. Because after COVID and all these regulations back and forth, it was really fun to finally cook properly for a proper audience.
Oh, nice.
And have fun like we used to have.
So it sounds like you have a pretty good camaraderie over there.
We were really lucky. Got a new chef for the kitchen, and we've been rocking the boat since.
Well, cool. Welcome back, and hopefully we see you around a little bit more. And
it's good to have you back.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm happy too.
What about you, Gwen? Anything interesting over the last week or two?
So many things in between a few NoMap play sessions on season 2. It's summer here. It finally feels like summer here in the UK. We're having really warm weather. So I went open water swimming in a lake nearby yesterday. It was lovely. Over the weekend, it's also a lot of festivals and things like that. So pretty much every one of my weekends till end of August is taken by some sort of festival or event or something. I nipped over a bit of a last minute decision, but nipped over to Tewkesbury on Sunday for Tewkesbury Medieval Festival, which is apparently the biggest free festival of its kind in Europe. I didn't realize that until I was there and I saw 2,000 reenactors on the battlefield. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty big. It was pretty busy and it was scorching hot. And they were reenacting a battle of the War of the Roses. So it's slightly later period than what I tend to go for. I like the Viking and Norman era, so anything before the 12th century, and that was a bit later on. So it's like they were wearing like full plate armor and stuff, and they were just standing in the field for an hour under the sun, and I was like, I really don't want to be in that place right now. There were a few heat strokes and so on. It's not pleasant to be wearing armor under the sun and in the heat. But yeah, I went to that mostly because I wanted to go shopping. Went to check out a few of the traders, bought loads of linen and wool. Again, someone needs to take my credit card off me. And I did a bunch of other stuff as well, but I can't remember anymore. But yeah, it was good. Enjoying the outdoors a little bit now that the weather's nice.
Nice, yeah. How about you, Bambi? Anything interesting over the last week or so?
Well, it's almost summer holiday over here, so we are very busy at work. Sometimes I have days like from 8 in the morning till 10 in the evening.
Ooh, yeah.
So, like last weekend, I did nothing. Yeah, enjoying the survival map, of course, the survival server. But no, we had some resting to do and, preparing for vacation.
Oh, nice. How long is your vacation going to be?
6 weeks.
Wow. You have
Mm.
any fun things planned?
Well, in the last three weeks, we're gonna go camping
Oh, I love
on an
camping.
island here in the Netherlands. That's a really nice island. We always spend our family vacations there as well, camping. So now we're gonna take our kids over there. So yeah, really looking forward to that.
Oh, awesome. Can't wait to hear about those adventures. It's funny. There seems to be two type of people in the world: people who love camping and people who hate it. There doesn't seem to be anybody sort of in between where they're like they say camping's okay. I can do it. It's either they love it or they hate it. At least
Yeah.
with all the people I know.
Well, I'm not sure which side I stand in at the moment, because I'm going to be the next 3 weekends. I've got like 3 festivals in a row. One that's like a Viking festival, then a music festival, and then a reenactment show. All 3 weekends I'll be camping, and all 3 weekends I'll be sleeping in an actual authentic medieval tent. So I'll let you know after the 3 weekends in a row how I feel about actual camping.
That's fun. That sounds awesome. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I'll send you a couple of pictures. I'm completely expecting to wake up with like 10 snails on my face or something. Like it's one of those tents. It doesn't have like a floor, so yeah, it's not like a nicely sealed plastic tent. So I have no idea what to expect.
Are you gonna love it?
What about you, Leaf? Anything interesting going on that you care to share for your summer activities?
Not since the 4th. We were with family on the 4th, so that was kind of fun, kind of doing that. But since then, no, nothing else. I don't. Maybe another party with some family. We had some parties at the house, but that's about it.
No sarcasm. That sounds wonderful. I wish I could spend some time with my family.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the 4th of July.
It depends.
Yeah, it depends on
Right?
family, right?
Yes.
Well, try going on a date under the week on Monday. That's not happening. Monday morning for a pot of coffee? You're usually by yourself there.
But yeah, the 4th of July here in the US is, one of our bigger holidays of the year, celebrating our independence, not just celebrating the fact that fireworks exist and explode in the sky. Do you guys, Leaf, have any traditions for the 4th of July, or is it just like a get together barbecue type of deal? Or
it's more just like get together kind of barbecue-y type deal. There's not much. It's not a lot of. We don't do anything big or exciting like that. No real traditions. Just get together and have fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, I remember when I was growing up as a kid, the tradition would be to go over, some family, either friends of my parents or relatives of my parents would host, like a barbecue get together. But then I just remember growing up, always playing with fireworks in the streets. And as a kid, I had a lot of burned fingers, but I had a great time. And these days, the fireworks are mostly outlawed in most towns, at least where I'm at here in California. Is it like that where you're at too?
Yeah, unless you're in New Hampshire. New Hampshire, you can do anything. That's right next door to Massachusetts. But in Massachusetts, they say no fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. It is. It's all right. I'll leave it to the professionals and keep my fingers intact.
Well, yeah, I remember too as teenagers doing unsafe things with fireworks, at each other, like lighting firecrackers and throwing them at each other, or those candlesticks that launch like the little fiery balls up into the sky. We'd run around with those like guns, shooting them at each other. Not knowing, not paying attention where the little fiery ball goes and what it sets on fire, but
the usual.
So many things. You're glad that you survived your childhood years, right?
Yeah.
You have some of those old stories too, Tolkis?
I was in a I was a what's it called, lifeguard And a couple of the other guys got some rockets from Poland, from our neighbors. And they tend to overdose the black powder in their rockets. So they were standing in the field. One guy's lighting up the rocket, we're stepping back, and it's just going doop, 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 just slowly rising. And they're like, oh, standing, yeah, okay, it's gonna be fine. Just, it's gonna take a while. Then doop, doop, floop, fuse out, rocket dropped on the floor. Everybody, and someone's just yelling, "Get down!" And we landed on the floor, and it just exploded. We could hear the what are they called? The basically we could feel the things against our jackets there.
Oh wow!
Off
Yeah,
there. It was last time we did that. It's a bit too crazy.
Yeah, lots of ringing ears too. I remember with the loud fireworks. Well, cool. Yeah, for some reason I thought that launching a season 2 server a few days after one of the biggest US holidays was a good idea. Because that was one of the worst weekends of my life.
Oh no!
It was
Did you
so
not
hard
get to actually enjoy the holiday.
I did though, but it was I was so stressed all throughout the holiday because I had activities Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Fairs, festivals. I had a poker night. I had a big barbecue on Monday that I went to. So 4 days of fun, but the whole time I'm there, I'm stressed because Tuesday and Wednesday were the last 2 days for me to get the server ready, and I still had so much to do. So in the back of my mind, I just kept thinking about all the things I have to do while people are having conversations and noticing that I'm sort of tuning out.
Yeah, no, don't. That's probably the last time you do that one.
Yeah. And then the Monday after the barbecue, I went home and I think I got 2 or 3 hours sleep Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night. Just like 2 or 3 hours sleep every night because I was doing stuff to get the server ready. But I think it all paid off because the server launched, the 2 servers launched, the NoMap and the survival server launched on Thursday with almost no hiccups. Like most things went fairly smoothly. So
yeah, I was actually surprised. I was completely prepared mentally for just spending my evening helping people troubleshooting, getting onto the servers, like doing last minute whitelists and all sorts of things. And it actually went so smoothly that I was like, what's going on? Is everyone on? Okay, everyone's logged in. The server didn't crash. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to play then.
yeah.
Gorth had the same thing. Gorth had the same thing. He was like, I'm still playing. What's happening here?
Yeah.
I was very happy for that. I still didn't. It was around 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon when I finally stepped away after, checking into little things that were going on in the server, just little things I needed to follow up on or fix. And then I just passed out on the sofa for a few hours.
Okay.
Catch
At
up
least
on
you
my
made
sleep.
it to the sofa.
Yeah.
Not just dead drop on the keyboard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I haven't fallen asleep at the desk in a long time. Like I have a Secret Labs gaming chair, so the headrest goes all the way up to my head with a little pillow. And if I lean back, I have fallen asleep in my chair before. But not recently. But we're going to talk some more about season 2 coming up here. But I wanted to just talk about a couple of the new videos that I launched. I did a season 2 teaser, and the thumbnail said "Waiting for Mistlands?" ? And it plays out like a little like new game trailer. And it's doing really well. It's got over 15,000 views now. And yeah, people seem to be really excited by it. I think it's done a pretty good job to bring attention to our new season 2 servers. And then we did a live stream. It's a 2-hour live stream, which is, I actually have a lot of fun. I watching. I let it play while I was doing some other stuff just to see what we had done. and we do a sneak peek of the season 2 and answer a bunch of questions. And then just recently, just this morning, actually, I launched a new video called New Dungeons to Explore, how to build custom dungeons. And I give basically a little tutorial on how to do that. Build your own custom dungeon in the skyboxes that the normal in-game dungeons are in, and how to use a couple of the mods to do that. So if you ever wanted to learn how to do something like that or build in creative mode, there's a lot of tips and tricks in that video that I just launched this morning. And I recommend that people on my server who are interested in being part of the build team for future POIs or season 3, watch that video and a couple of my other videos on how to use things like Infinity Hammer and other mods that are really useful. So yeah, that was that. I didn't get as many videos up as I wanted the last 2 weeks because of launching, season 2 and the US holiday falling in the middle of all that. Mm-hmm. Never again.
It seemed like a good idea on paper, but yeah. Are you going to be streaming or doing more videos in relation to season 2 now that it's out?
Yeah. So the first one, as I mentioned, was building the new dungeon. So I built a new dungeon on the resource server, and it was one of the dungeons from season 2, because our resource server reset every 2 weeks. That just happened this week. So I give a rundown of how to build the dungeon, but you also get to see one of the dungeons that are in season 2. And I think every week I'm going to try to put up 1 or 2 videos to show off one of the locations, one of the amazing locations that were built by my build team, as like a little teaser for what to expect. And that said, we did limit signups to, I think it was July 3rd, to get in on launch weekend. But if you're interested in playing season 2 with us, whether NoMap or regular survival, you can sign up now and jump in. And the great thing is, in this world, resources and dungeons, in the resources in the dungeons, they respawn. So and so do all of our POIs. So all the content will be there, new and fresh for you, even if you show up a week or 2 or 4 weeks later. So feel free to head on over to my website if you want to play with us there.
And I just want to take a quick break from the show to share with you one of my sponsors, the Grimfrost, an amazing company that sells really, really cool Viking products. They have over 1,000 different modern and historical Viking products. If you're interested, you should check them out. I have a link in the description, or you can go to my website, jiroctheviking.com/Grimfrost. Now back to the show.
Yeah. Are you going to be doing any tours of bases and buildings? I've been asked by some of the players on Survival if you'd be up for touring some of their builds, because even though it's a fast-paced kind of adventure map, some are taking the time to still build amazing bases for their group, and they're still progressing through and building. So
yeah, definitely, I'd love to go around and show everyone what the players are up to with their bases and things, time permitting, of course. Mm-hmm. I really have this like wish or this desire to play on the NoMap server myself. So as soon as I get a chance, I want to make a character and start running around and then record it and upload it. If I can make
we should do a stream together.
Oh yeah, we should definitely. That would be fun, because I know you're on NoMap, right?
Yeah, I'm on NoMap, and I've been streaming my playthrough as well. I've only been able to log on day 1 and then 2 days later. And then tomorrow, I think, so Wednesday, so a day before or 2 days before the podcast comes out, I might be. So there might be already like 3 episodes by the time this podcast comes out. But yeah, I've been basically streaming every single time I log in NoMap, usually 2-3 hours at a time. And we're taking it slow, because a lot of us who group together have odd times where we can play, or we can't play that. We can't play every day, a couple of hours a day. So we're determined to take it slow. We've got Morning Darkness as well, who's been on holidays for the past 2 weeks, who will be joining us at some point. So we're also kind of waiting for a few more people to join to really start adventuring, tackling the POIs and stuff. So you could join our crew, Jiroc. You could join in on the fun, have a bit of no map chaotic fun.
Yeah, no, that sounds good, especially since I know your time is pretty limited too with the summer, so you'll probably be a little bit more at my pace, which is, I'll probably only be able to get on for a few hours a week to play.
Yeah, exactly.
And Leaf, you're playing on the new season 2 servers, right?
I will be. Yeah, I am in the throes of a treehouse that is consuming all of my free Valheim time.
Can you explain to the audience what you mean by a treehouse?
I don't know who to blame for the treehouse, but I think it falls to Jiroc. It falls to Jiroc. So there's a build competition that has been announced a while ago, and I've been working on building a house in the trees, and it's more than just a house. So
I can't wait to see.
Don't mention it. I still have to finish mine.
Well, let's see today. Go ahead, Gwen.
No, I was going to say, and Leaf is going to actually join our little group of slow no-mappers. So we're actually waiting on a couple of people to join in the next couple of days. We're basically adopting everyone who's like us, only has a couple of hours a week to play, or has missed the launch weekend because of holidays and other commitments. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you on the other side, Leaf, once you're done with your treehouse project.
Yeah, it took on a life of its own. It's kind of like the plant from Little Shop of Horrors. It started as a little baby, and now it just wants to eat me.
Oh, the baby has grown up. It has become a teenager. It knows just annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we try to have a build competition every month, and the next one is coming up in 8 days on the 20th, the Treehouse build competition. So yeah, it'll be exciting to see what people do. I hope everybody can get their build done, because I know with season 2, they're probably spending most of their time there. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what people come up with. That'll be fun. And Bambi, you're playing on season 2 also. You're actually, you and Tolkas are playing together, right, on season 2 and on the survival server?
Yeah.
So you guys don't have the problem of no map. You guys do have your map on the survival server, but you guys don't have portals.
Yeah, I really love that. It should be like that.
Yeah. But as that aside, we have plenty of other problems to deal with. Thank you for that one. Thank you.
Well, yeah.
I've been playing Dark Souls a lot, and at some point I wish though the enemies in the game were as challenging as the ones in Dark Souls. Then I come back, and first thing I'm greeting is glowing skeletons, draugrs with 5 stars and whatnot. Enemies are multiplying, enemies are burning, freezing, throwing lightning. Yep.
It's probably quite a surprise when a boar comes up to you and electrocutes you, huh?
I had a lightning draugr archer shoot an arrow at me in the swamp where I'm wet. Electricity and water. I don't need to explain what happened afterwards.
Were you doing a corpse run?
Oh yes, actually, I spent 4 hours yesterday retrieving my corpse past 2 oceans and 2 islands. In between, at some point, I was nuked by a black dragon that just one-shot my car and yeeted me into the ocean 10 feet away.
Oh no. Yeah. There's a big black. I think it's like a enlarged drake-looking drake, smoky drake-looking creature that appears on the ocean sometimes, maybe in a storm or something.
Oh yeah, that was actually what happened. I was in the storm, and suddenly I see this giant. I hear the scream. I see the black cloud emerging from the bottom of the ocean, and this black horned head staring at me. And I was rowing against the wind. I just did a U-turn into the wind. Didn't stand a chance. This thing sneezed at me and totally obliterated me.
Yeah, I know the server was only 2 days old or something like that, and Jiroc sent me a message. Are you having fun? I actually replied to him, you hate us.
Yeah.
You definitely hate us all.
Yeah.
No, it's
It's
fun.
weird because I haven't encountered any of those crazy things. Well, I
Be
suppose I haven't
glad.
left meadows much, but
Yeah.
Glad.
It has become so crazy to the point where I have to convince my clan to come out of the base at night. Can you believe that?
We're not doing that.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing it. You're just what? Hey, yeah. All right. Yeah, my girlfriend just walked up to me and kissed me. Hold on. Where was I? Yes, we were talking about monsters there.
Well, yeah, with the new season 2 servers, I wanted it to just feel a little bit. I wanted it to feel like regular Valheim as far as like game mechanics went. But yeah, I've added some new creatures, and then of course we have 140 points of interest or locations that have been placed. So lots to do, which I was glad for. Because
totally worth it.
Yeah, season 1, everybody, I think all the content had been gone through in about 10 days. And I don't see that happening in season 2. I think season 2 is going to be around for a few months.
Hopefully, yeah. You can just leave it here.
Yeah, I think people are having fun with that world.
it's going to be hard to top that for season 3. We're going to have to come up with some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Season 3 is just going to turn everything big. Just push everything up to troll size.
Oh my god, that would be so fun. And then you're like a Nant walking around in a giant world. I would love that. That would be hilarious.
Yeah,
It will be impossible to take out any boss, but...
Yeah, I can already tell. This is going to be... Valheim is going to turn into Warhammer. For everyone unfamiliar with Warhammer, basically you have a scale from 1 to 10, and you crank it up to 10, and then you overturn the scale and go back to 10 again. I have this weird feeling that we are going to end up like this here.
Oh, it's
just
trying
battles
to
in the
balance the difficulty is something that I'm working quite a bit on with one of my admins named Kondo, who helped me test and even still monitoring and doing little fine tweaks with the configuration files even after server launch. But yeah, no, I always wanted the difficulty for Valheim to be just a little tougher than vanilla. But really, I just wanted you guys to have more content to explore, more creatures to encounter, and I think we've achieved that. It'll be interesting to talk to you guys each week to find out as you're discovering more of the world, more of the creatures, more of the locations that we've placed, and as you start visiting the Mistlands, the Ashlands, and the Deep North, because those areas are all now populated with both creatures and geographic stuff, trees and rocks and all that stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, I think you have the feeling after a week we'll look like the cast from The Walking Dead. Just a bunch of rough guys with guns and swords and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, if it's not the game that's going to kill me, it's going to be the clan that kills me, actually. Because I was doing some farming at our base, and they were progressing the night before. And I was just farming, planting some onions, and then a log creeped up on me and my back. I screamed so hard. Even my kids came out, "Mom, are you okay?" Didn't know they tamed the logs already. Yeah, it was so scary.
Well, Gwen, what's any Valheim news in the that's come out in the last week or two?
I don't think so. I think being summer, the Iron Gate team is probably taking a well-deserved holiday. I know in Sweden, summer and summer break is a big thing, and I think last year they took a month out, the whole team. I don't know if they did the same this year with a coordinated 1 month out. Maybe not, given the player base. Maybe they're like staggering it. But a couple of the main developers are on holidays right now, so I don't think we'll hear many news or updates on, at least not until they're back from summer holidays. So no news for now. But I feel like they gave us loads of teasers for Mistlands. So
Oh yeah, before
and
they.
now we're all busy playing season 2, so it's fine.
Well, yeah, remember when we were talking about when to launch season 2 a few months back, and we were worried that it might conflict with the launch of Mistlands. Well, I think we don't really have to worry about that now, so people can enjoy season 2 and all of the cool content we have over the next couple of months while we wait for Mistlands to come out. Yeah, and they did mention that when it does come out, it will be on the public test branch in testing for quite a while. So it probably at least a few weeks. I might even guess as long as a month, considering how big the update is. Because I think Frost Caves were in testing there for almost 3 weeks. So yeah, when Mistlands comes out, it'll be there. So anybody who's really interested in Mistlands can, when they launch it, you can try it on the public test branch. Not out yet, but that's where it will first come out. And of course, you'll see, if you want to see teasers, you'll see me putting out videos about the Mistlands from the public test branch. But we'll have to wait a little bit for that, and that's good because now we can just focus on season 2. So, Gwen, what's been new as far as events going on our server?
Well, so first of all, as you said, we welcomed quite a lot of new members on the server. So last week, well, between the last 2 weeks, sorry. The last 2 weeks, we have had Demetrius, Ricky Lafleur, Sandrost, Vidguy, Zion the Legend, Kuldoon, Yagare or Jagare Grutman, Blade, Geeka, Dobry, Norby, Frank the Tank, Memory Complex, Christopher, Bronzebelly, Lijon Torden, Solimir, Euros, Zexy, Tychus, Bob the Builder, Scrubberdubdub, Endzone, Xirial, Glaive, Silua, Roots the Blue Orc, Vazelko, sorry if I butcher your name, Sidson, Jarl Axler, Captain Denton, Sven Svensson, Vornax, Starfire, Beardrise, Lilith, and Elric join.
Wow.
That was a mouthful. Actually, let me count exactly how many players that was.
Yeah, that quite a bit.
So when was it last time we did a recording? That was early July or end of...
Well, we did a recording exactly 2 weeks ago, and that was Bambi's first time with us, wasn't it, Bambi?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so that was around the 26th. So since then, we've had...
Yeah, drum roll.
Yeah. 36 players join in the last 2 weeks.
Nice. Yeah, welcome everybody. Yep. Hope you're enjoying season 2 and the community. It's interesting as the community grows. You know, there's a lot of different personalities and little things come up here and there, but people are really making an effort to work together and play together and help each other. And it's just like whenever I see that, it just puts a big smile on my face. So, yeah, if you want to join.
Yeah, and everyone's...
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Everyone's been really, really active. Most of these players we've welcomed. Before launching season 2, we've done a number of community events to welcome everyone and to make sure we give everyone a proper welcome. And yeah, it's been great. Lots of new players. Everyone's kind of mixing with the community and the players who were already active. And yeah, it's been good so far. We've also had like a lot of players join in groups, like people bring their friends over, groups of players who used to play together on other servers that joined. We had like a whole clan that came from another server as well, the Underworld squad. They all joined together as well. So it's been nice to have so many new friendly players join and enjoy season 2 with us.
And then we had, as I mentioned before, we had the resource server. It was supposed to actually reset last week, but because of the US holiday and the launch of season 2, we delayed it. So it ran 3 weeks instead of 2, but it did reset this week, and we call it the Great Folding. And then I also placed a dungeon there from season 2. And yeah, even though season 2 is running and everybody's playing there, a lot of players still took time to go over to the resource server, build the new hotel, which they do every time the server resets, so that players have a bed and a chest and can have portals and a place to call home, so they can, save and get out, come back to, the spawn area, have a communal space. So that's awesome that they still took time to do that, even though they're busy with season 2. And of course, they had half of the team was building, and the other half of the team that came out for that were out there looking for the dungeon, because I didn't tell them where it was. I just said it was in the Black Forest nearby somewhere, and they had to search for it. And I think they had a lot of fun with that. But then, of course, season 2 launched, and I wanted to ask, I guess, Bambi, because you're really the only one here who went full strong on the day it launched, right? You were there on launch day?
Yeah, I actually had something to tend for work, for the 8th graders that said goodbye to the school.
Mm-hmm.
But I went home as soon as I could. I was like, I need to go, want to go. But yeah, I was pretty fast in. So yeah, that was awesome. And it went so smooth. That was so nice. Because you had like this whole portal hub set up with all different portals. So players could go straight to a portal and spread out immediately. So I think that helped a lot with the lag and what went wrong like the first time. Although the first season was funny as well, because we all got killed by an invisible boar. But yeah, this was very, very smooth.
And what was one of the first things that really stood out to you when you got on the season 2 server to let you know that, oh, this is going to be a little bit different experience than normal? What was the first thing you saw or noticed?
I straight away fell in love with the sea creatures.
Oh, what was the first one you saw?
The turtle.
Oh, yeah.
The turtle. I love the turtle, and
Turtles.
I am so grateful I didn't act like Izzy did, and she was like, "Oh, that's so cute, I want to pet it," and she died.
Oh no!
I was like, "It's probably gonna bite, so I'm not gonna pet it."
Snapping turtles.
Izzy did. Yeah, they look cute, but they're deadly.
Oh no, Izzy!
Oh, but so beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And the Orcas as well. Literally, the first thing, I just logged in and I had Gorf, one of the other admins. Great, Tulkas, that's Orcas. You can ride them.
Yes, we have to see this.
Did you try riding it, Tulkas?
Oh yeah, I did a couple of times since, mostly because it has been escaping its cage.
So you have to go out and catch it?
Oh yeah.
And so what is riding an orca fun?
It is fun. I just wish you could do the dolphin jump with it.
Oh.
That's the only thing missing. Yeah, but riding it is awesome.
But yeah.
It must be pretty fast, huh?
Yeah. It's also you don't have to look for the wind.
Oh right.
But yeah, the thing with the jumping is like getting a Porsche for a birthday and then complaining about the color.
Yeah. And for me, not looking for the wind is awesome because I am cursed. If I'm in the boat, you always have headwind.
Oh yeah, right.
Orca
can
is
just,
like,
you can just go.
yeah, you can go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you notice anybody using the Orca more than one of the boats to get around on the ocean?
Brass
we
has
do
been using it a little.
Yeah, we do it for quick groceries, but like we have somebody on a swamp with a lot of iron,
Mm.
and he sometimes needs food or stuff like that, and we're just gonna grab the orca and take it over to him.
Yeah, we have to be careful though with all the leeches in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how you refer to that as like quick groceries. I'm just going to pop over to the swamps and get a few blood bags, you know.
Yeah. Just the usual, you know.
Like Kmart, yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna get blood bags at that. No.
maybe there are some skeleton trophies for sale even. You don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about this Orca because I knew it was in the game, obviously, and I knew that the players are going to be able to ride it. But I never teased anything about it. I wanted you guys to discover that on your own, but I didn't get time to really test it myself. So when you take it somewhere, is it in danger of like swimming off? Because it's not like a boat where you can park and jump off of it. What happens when you get off of it and go on to land? Do you have to like box it in somewhere, or can you just trust that it won't swim away?
Think of it like a lox, but in the water.
So it wanders around, wants to get in fights.
Yeah. Once it's not, but a difference between the lox and the orca is the lox you have the chance of catching.
Yes.
There is a slight chance that thing will survive, and you can get mounted back and then just keep going. Orca, just hang on tight.
Yeah. It just swims off and then it gets too far out for you to swim after it, probably, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, and then you drown, and then there's someone has to pick you up again.
Mm.
Yeah, so Jiroc, you have to come by our base and have a ride on the Orca.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like fun. Or at some point, me, Leaf, and Gwen and the other no mappers can get our Orca and have it swim us around and get us lost.
That's even more fun, I think.
Exactly.
Well, cool. So yeah, we launched season 2 on Thursday the 7th, which was only 5 days ago from the time of this recording. And it was 2 servers, a survival server and the NoMap server. And again, the survival server players are not allowed to build portals. It's restricted by a mod. But there are portals placed around the world. There's an inner ring of portals that are all connected to the spawn. I believe there's 6 of them. And once they get out further in the map, sort of towards the outer edges of the world, there's another chain of portals. There's 8 of them, and they're all connected so that they can hop around quickly out there. But that now they have to actually explore and sail, and sailing has a lot more content out in the ocean. There's alligators, sharks,
Wraiths,
Black dragons,
wraiths, yeah, black dragons. I'm waiting to see when somebody comes in encounter with the Kraken. I haven't heard any Kraken encounters yet.
I told the Valor there is a Kraken. They wouldn't believe me. I said there is one.
Just go sailing whenever there's a storm. Go sailing.
Oh no.
this crazy lady here talking about krakens.
And
then every time we see something pop out of the water, I'm like, "It's a Kraken! It's a Kraken!"
Oh, you won't. You'll know when you see the Kraken. You'll see those giant tentacles coming at you. And yeah.
Oh yeah.
It should be fun to hear the first stories. But then NoMap, because they don't have a map, and that's already slowing down their progress, so that they have to really pay attention. They do get their portals. So it'll be interesting to see how progression is on the 2 servers as far as, encountering the POIs and getting through all those. Because like I said, there's over 140 different locations that we've placed to visit. In addition to there being all new content and mobs in the Forgotten Biomes. So That'll be interesting. And we have 7 starting locations. So if you are interested in playing, there's a lot of different places to come and start. And I think even now with the player base that's playing, I think it's almost 50, like 60 and 40, something like that. Gwen, right? Players signed up on each of the servers. 60 players on Survival and about 40 something on NoMap.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, there's always like between 10 and 20 people online at any given time on these servers.
Yeah, on both servers. Yeah.
Yeah, on each of them, yeah.
And if you go to the Battlemetrics website, you can actually see if you combine all of our servers together, the player count. We've been number 1 or right behind the Comfy Valheim for a number of players playing since the server launch, which is exciting to see everybody having fun and so many people playing together. But yeah, there's 7 starting locations, and several of those starting locations are not even really populated, because the groups that are playing, I think only 3 or 4 of those starting areas people went to and started their bases there. Are groups of people, and then the other couple of starting areas are still fresh and brand new. So lots of room for new players if you're interested. And as I mentioned before, we have over 140 locations, including our giant portal hub, which was built by one of our admins who's been taking a break from the game. But right before he took a break, he built this beautiful portal hub. What do you guys think of that portal hub that's there on the starter island?
It's amazing. First time I saw it, or you can see my reaction on the stream, I was like, wow, looking up at this giant thing.
If I were to meet him, I could kiss him. Let's leave it at that, okay?
Oh, okay. I wouldn't go that far. I'm not sure his wife would appreciate, but
yeah, it's really cool. The only thing though is the instance count is a little high, so I thinned out the forest there just a little bit so that the instance count didn't get too crazy high. And
yeah, actually, next to that portal is where I saw for the first time sharks, except they weren't in the water. They were just flying, frozen in the air because of the lag.
Oh, was that on day 1?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's when everybody got on the server. Yes, and then all those instances, just a little bit of lag on that first day. And then, of course, we have really neat little location portals. Once you go through the portal hub, it takes you to the new starting area. There's these nice little starting portals that Thorin also built for us. Only issue, Thorin, I got to point out, besides they look great, obviously, you did a great job, but players kept falling through the floor. Has anybody here fell through the floor when they came through the portal and gotten stuck?
Not me, but Mac Tavera did 2 days ago.
Yeah. Just because I guess the when player came through the portal, the floor didn't render right away, so they dropped through. So I just did a version on Survival. I've placed it on Survival already. I still got to put it on NoMap, but I did a version of Thorin's portal where it's right as soon as you come out of the portal, that piece is now suspended above the air instead of being solid going all the way down to the ground. And then that way, if you do fall through the floor, you can just hit the ground and run off and not get stuck and have to kill yourself and lose your skill points and all that. But yeah, looks great. And then, of course, we have a bunch of custom modular dungeons throughout the world, which are pretty awesome. One of our builders, Apollyon, built a bunch of them. And he calls them by really interesting names too. So we have the Mouth of Madness, the Machine, the Ritual, the Decay, and the Echoes. And they're all very differently themed dungeons. We have several of them. So there's not just one of those dungeons in the world. There's several of those dungeons. Because they're modular, they're all slightly different, put together, the rooms and hallways and stairwells. And I don't think anybody has taken on one of these dungeons yet because they're still so early in the game. Have Bambi or Tokas, have you guys heard anybody going into one of the custom dungeons yet?
Nope, not yet.
No.
Yeah.
Is it like an actual dungeon or?
Yeah, so when you go through the burial chamber or the sunken crypts or the frost cave portal, it's just like that. These dungeons, I deleted the old dungeons that were there and placed our custom dungeons inside that skybox. So you get that really cool misty darkness like in the dungeon and all the sound effects. And yeah, I can't wait for you to see some of the custom dungeons when you get out there.
So far we've just come along dungeons that have been. You would enter them, you get the message blocked, and then you reappear outside. That's all I've seen so far. But yeah, besides that.
Oh yeah, there's a few. There seems to be a few glitched dungeons. What happens if the dungeon is deleted and there's no floor on the other side where the dungeon's supposed to be? That portal to go in, that cave entrance to go in, it checks for a floor. That way you don't zone through and then just drop from the sky 5,000 meters up. So yeah, there seemed to be a few that got glitched somehow, but small price to pay for snapping sea turtles, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I'm not complaining. Actually, I'm surprised that isn't a feature.
Oh,
oh, look, here's a dungeon. Ha ha!
Just kidding.
Let's enjoy the fly.
Yeah. Well, and we have a lot of real world buildings too, locations that were placed all throughout. Things like lighthouses, taverns, windmills, water wheel houses, castles, keeps, and a lot of other things. And so I'll be excited to see what players think when they start to visit some of these, because some of them actually have little hints and clues, especially like there's a character that Morning Darkness developed for us called Gertie, and she has a series called Gertie's Taverns, and each tavern is a little bit different throughout the world, and there's a story behind them, and there's a bunch of signs placed like books, and if you read through all of them, you'll start to follow the story of Gertie's Taverns, which is...
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, so that'll be fun when you guys...
I can't wait to find those.
Yeah, when you guys discover those. And then we have some really interesting locations that are, because this is season 2 is actually subtitled the Season of the Night Mother. And the Night Mother is a Draugr female. And there's some hints in the world too about what her story is. But one of the locations you'll find is a bunch of evil statues in a circle. Spoiler alert. And there's a bunch of ooze and green ooze coming out of the ground. It's all spiny and thorny and with roots coming out of it. And that's the heart of the Night Mother. Her power is oozing up out of the very ground. And you can find this location throughout the world. And it's one of the achievements if you can find all of them. But be wary there. They are populated by evil spirits that will try to protect it and keep you away.
They actually sound a bit gross.
Yeah. So let's see what else. Yeah. So I mentioned that our all the dungeons in the game do respawn. The loot, the burial chambers, sunken crypts, frost caves, and troll caves. They respawn. The loot respawns, and in the sunken crypts, the iron respawns. Leaf, do you remember?
Yes. Oh no, I remember saying something in helper chat.
Was that you that brought that up? The concern about iron?
I brought it up, and I'm like, why is Kondo not concerned? Kondo's a math guy. He knows what I'm talking about and how there's gonna be infighting over all this. But you guys had that ace up your sleeve. You weren't telling anybody about that. So
well, yeah, because normally when you have a bunch of players, so we have 60 on one server and more than 40 on the other. All the sunken crypts and the burial chambers, they get wiped out, and then if you're a new player, you have to go further and further out to find ones that haven't been cleared. But not on season 2. They all respawn, including the mud piles, so you can get your iron. Just make sure you don't spend too long in the crypt, or you might get trapped when they respawn behind you.
I do think it's an awful good feature because it gives people or players that don't go in a fast pace, or give them the chance to get the loot as well. I love that feature.
Yeah, that is a thing. I think you could get stuck inside a crypt if you weren't careful and your pickaxe breaks.
You guys
Log
did,
out
I
inside.
Well, yeah, you might have to let a Draugr kill you and then come back with a new pickaxe to retrieve your corpse.
Yeah, that would be kind of.
Some stranger walking into a dungeon. There's just this golem-like creature sitting there. Precious.
Yeah. And meanwhile, it's just Leaf sitting there on Discord going, come and save me. Come and save me from the crypt.
Yeah, basically.
Well, yeah, and still yet lots of new creatures that people have yet to even encounter. So it'd be interesting. I do see more and more pictures people are posting when they find a new creature. So that's interesting to see, because I haven't even seen all the creatures myself. I'm aware of all of them because I set them up in the config, but I haven't seen all of them myself. So when people post pictures, I think, oh yeah, that's what that thing looks like. That's pretty cool. But one of the most exciting features about season 2, and I don't know what you guys think about it yet because it's maybe a little too early, is the achievement system. Because in season 1, I put like an artifact, weapon, or armor at each POI for people to get, and then once they got it, then no reason for anybody else to visit the POI. But now everything respawns, and instead of some kind of artifact placed there's achievements at each point of interest at each location. And all you have to do is screen capture the achievement. You have to get to it first. You have to figure out the puzzle or the parkour and get past all the mobs, and then take a screenshot of the achievement because there'll be a sign with some indicator for the achievement. And yeah, it'll be exciting to see what people, when they start posting achievements.
Yeah, since you discovered jump and run, this place has been starting to turn to Mario, basically, at some point. The only thing missing is the tubes going up and down the floor.
Yeah, there is a little parkour. There's more parkour in some places than others. Not every location has parkour, but there are a couple of very specific, interesting POIs that you can find on the map that are all similarly themed with an acrophobia achievement. So if you can get all the way to the top, you can earn the acrophobia achievement. So be interesting to see the people who have the hand-eye coordination to successfully, accomplish those ones.
You just scared me there. I thought you said the other word.
Oh,
acrophobia, acrophobia, the irrational fear of heights. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Google.
Yeah.
All right.
There's probably a bunch of other people listening to the podcast who started Googling that too until you did it for them.
No, it cannot be arachnophobia. Not that one.
No, not that one.
Well,
not that one.
I should have made that an achievement too.
No. We're not going to have spiders, Jiroc.
Nope, no spiders. Guaranteed. You can take that one to the bank.
There's going to be no spiders on survival?
Cough, cough, cough.
I know. I personally know of no spiders. I have not seen them yet.
No, that's not good enough. You didn't even know about some other creatures, so that's not good enough.
I was going to say I heard a rumor to stay out of the Mistlands if you have a fear of spiders.
Oh, no, don't.
Or run really fast. Lots of stamina mead and tasty mead.
Don't like it.
And then one of the other fun achievements is we have this thing called the Tome of the Great Ones. And it's an ancient tome in a language that no Viking can decipher, but they're located at the end of every major POI. And those are the really big achievements because they're associated with the POIs. So if you get those, then you're going to rack up a lot of achievement points at the end of each POI. And then another fun one for the people who really like to just explore a POI and really enjoy the building and the story behind the build, you know, because these builders, especially Apollyon, who came up with the concept, he made each POI, each location, he sort of ruined them, made them look worn and old and aged by rotating and blocks in little ways and making them look like they've fallen and broken other pieces, adding vines and roots and all this stuff. Throughout POIs, you're going to be able to find this thing called the manuscript of the Mad Viking. And so pages from the manuscript of the Mad Viking are scattered throughout POIs and very, like tucked away corners of POIs. So you're not just going to see them running by. You actually have to explore the little, behind this and behind that and in hidden, passageways or hidden rooms and stuff. So if you're one of those who really likes to explore the details of a POI, you can find the manuscript pages of the Mad Viking.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah. There's a giant petrified statue you can find throughout the world. There's several of them. These are creatures that once, in our new history, used to roam the land, but they're all petrified statues. I won't say what it is or where to find them, but if you find them, that's all of them. That's an achievement. And then we also have the Safari Explorer achievement. Basically, what you have to do to get the Safari Explorer achievement is take a picture with the creature's name. So just taking a picture of the creature from a distance isn't going to cut it. You got to get close enough to see its name in the picture. And that's take a picture of one of the new creatures in the game. So whatever you haven't seen in vanilla, like the sea turtle, for example, you take a picture of a sea turtle with its name, and that's part of your Safari Explorer.
How about the starred creatures we have in vanilla?
Nope, no creatures that you already have in vanilla. Has to be a brand new creature that you've never seen before. So do that, get all your pictures of that, and you'll get tons of achievements of points. And, that's fun for some people. I think Gwen was pretty excited about that because she didn't want to kill everything. She just want to take pictures of them.
Yeah, exactly. I leave the killing for the others, and I'll just go around and find the hidden treasures and the secret rooms and take pictures of new monsters. I'll basically be playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go. Well, I just wanted to ask, a couple of people asked me if it's okay to make like a collage of all the new creatures you got, so you only post one picture?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you don't have to post them, one picture at a time if you don't want. If you have any kind of Photoshop or other photo editing skills and you just want to put them into a collage, absolutely do that. Yeah, just as long as we have because you have to remember your name has to appear in the shot on the screen for each one, because you usually have to open your inventory to see that, and then in that little space in between your inventory and then the side screen with your stats and everything, a picture of the creature. So, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to post 50 screenshots of creatures. If you want to just put them all in a collage or a couple of collages, that'd be fine too.
Well, awesome.
I'm sure Discord would appreciate that because they're having to store all these images on the back end.
I think they would.
Well, cool. So we're going to go on from season 2. Just a last thing to mention, you can still sign up at JirocTheViking.com if you want to join us. And that said, we're going to talk about some of the things that we'd love to see changed in the game, especially the more mods that I get to play with. I'm always thinking, ooh, it would be great if some of this stuff was available in vanilla. So what would you like to see changed in Game Leaf if you had a magic button to change something?
I would love to see rotation in the third plane, like that third access. That would be the best thing, I think, because it would more than double the amount of build pieces that you have, if you think about it. Like all of a sudden your 26 degree angled can be a 45, can be a 66, right? And like even those 1 meters now can, like, all of a sudden they can start to rotate. So I think it would really open up building in the game, like kind of make it explode almost. And it wouldn't be that big of a change, I don't think. Maybe it is. I'm not a
Well,
I don't code.
Well, when you see because we do use a mod called Gizmo for the creative building and the builders for season 2. So when you start to see some of the POIs that we've made, there's no way you can build those POIs like that without the extra rotation axes. And what you can do with it when you see what the builders have done, it's absolutely amazing. And it's convinced me beyond the shadow of a doubt that should be a feature in the game, because of how what amazing builds the builders are coming up with, and not just a build itself, but giving a build that aged look, making it look ruined and aged and old. It's just when you can rotate blocks on any axis and have more points of rotation, you get some amazing things. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people who do some goofy things with it, like build a giant Lock statue near the water of Naomi.
What? Sorry, what? I wasn't listening. What were you saying?
Who was it that built that goofy looking Lock statue?
That was Tolkis.
Tolkis. I meant that really awesome statue. I meant.
Hold on. It was Ice Frost back then. I was the one who added the nipples and the genitalia. Okay.
Oh, too much information.
It's got to be realistic. I mean,
Yeah, and then just appeared. Then I had to rebuild it back in my place.
Well, yeah. Anytime you give players, more build options, they're gonna, do some amazing things with it, and then some goofy things with it. But I think that the amazing things outweigh the goofiness. So, and the goofiness is fun in the right context too. So, well, that's I totally agree with you, Leaf. I'm right there with you.
And that's my biggest. I'll stand on that hill and shout until I'm blue in the face.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll allow Gizmo on a future server, maybe the Mistland server. We'll have to see. And Tolkis, what about you? What would you like to see changed in game?
Quick question before I answer that question. I saw the colored banners are in the game. Is it a mod or is it actually an update?
Oh yeah, they updated and added what was it, like 4 more colors? 3 colors and then another like black and white one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they added, I think, yellow, purple, orange, and white.
Yes. Yep, that's in the game. That's not a mod.
Yeah, can I have these color patterns for sails and armor, please? Just, can I have a purple cape? Purple armor? Come on. Please.
You mean like a purple linen cape? Or a purple wolf cape?
Yeah, exactly. Or purple sails would look awesome. I mean, come on. Don't do this.
He's gonna be a purple Smurf.
Yes.
Let a player dye all their clothes and armor, and then we get to see the Smurf version of Tolkis, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'd vote for that.
I know that devs are probably already like rolling their eyes, like, oh, this again. But come on, it's already there. You have the color patterns. I would love to see the ship sail in the same color pattern like the banners. I mean, just I don't know. There's plenty of room in the building menu. Just put in 5, 20, or 20 ships, every ship of a different color for the sail. Come on, please. Huh?
Well, I think Gwen likes the colors that we have, right? Gwen, you don't want any more colors?
No, give me all the colors. I'm happy that they finally gave us all the colors of the rainbow for the banners, and I believe because they did that patch in June.
Yes.
They did it at the same time as the flower crown and the maypole. So for midsummer, but also because June is Pride Month. So I believe the rainbow is complete now for the banners. So yeah, I agree with you, Tulkas. We should have more color options.
Yeah, right.
And as we discussed it many times before, we should have those color options for padded armor as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Did any of you play the game for a while, not realizing that you could change the color of capes and shields and
Yes.
Yeah, I remember I didn't. I thought it was some video I watched, and I saw somebody running around with a colored shield, and I thought, oh, at what stage in the game do you get that? And I asked somewhere, maybe on the official Discord, and somebody said to me, "It's already in game, stupid."
Stupid.
And I thought, well, how? Where? How? What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a super hidden. It's just a tiny button that says style.
Yeah.
And you have to hit it before you craft the item, but it's not super intuitive. And because most of the other items don't have it, like most of the time, you don't really notice that style button is there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I probably missed that button in the building menu.
Oh yeah, I missed it until somebody very politely pointed it out to me.
In the typical gaming manner.
Yeah, that's gamer speak for "I love you." Now go figure it out yourself.
Exactly.
Well, Bambi, what about you? What would you like to see changed or added to the game?
Well, playing the season 2 server now, survival, I love the sea creatures. I would love to see that in vanilla. Yeah. That adds so much to the game. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, there's another modder named Krumpac, Krumpac, and he's a modder who spent he said about something like $1,500 of his own money getting assets. Sea creature assets, coral reef assets.
Wow.
From websites that have 3D models and textures and stuff. And then built a mod where you can have these really giant, beautiful coral reefs and octopuses and tons of new fish and all kinds of cool sea creatures.
Oh, wow. I need to have that.
Yeah. And I reached out to him, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get permission to use it before the seasonal server launched. But he did say that he finally got back to me and said that I could use it for a future seasonal server or whatever. So maybe in season 3, we're going to see these beautiful reefs and tons of new sea creatures, just like you're asking for. But yeah, of course, it would be great if and when Valheim adds some of that. I think they're going to be adding more.
With the ocean biome, of course, there's only one creature out there we all hate and love. So, but when they gonna tweak that, like the Mistlands and Ashlands, I think there's gonna be an ocean, expansion anytime. So they're gonna add that. I'm sure about that. But yeah, I really love it.
Yeah.
Yep. By that time, we're gonna be spoiled with mods and just not gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, we are. I know for sure we are.
They're just coming out of the holiday. They found better stuff than we have made.
No.
It'll be bonus on top of,
Because to be honest, with everything they made, did they surprise us or not?
Oh yeah.
So I am certain that when they're gonna do the ocean biome, they're gonna surprise us a lot as well. So
yeah, I think there are going to be some things that we can't predict because they're pretty good at coming up with some original stuff.
Yeah.
Well, my one thing that I'd love to see change after running a server and seeing players totally exploit the game and the challenges that I put in front of them is that when they're swimming, if they're out there on their boat or whatever they're doing, if they fall into the water, they'll swim until they run out of stamina, log off, log back in, and then they have full stamina when they log back in. Then they just swim again as far as they can and log off and log back in. So you basically can swim infinitely. So yeah, bit of an exploit, but that's the mechanic of the game. Doesn't mean that it's intended that way just because it exists. I see people saying that, if it's there, they must have intended it that way. Like, no, they can't predict everything. And they probably didn't predict that players would be logging out and logging back in to exploit that. But I have already spoken to Jonathan about it. He's aware of it. So they're considering a fix for that in the future.
And to be honest, it's still early access, right? So
oh yeah,
they're still figuring stuff out, I think.
Oh yeah, it's funny how good the game is. Like we almost like we think about it as being finished because of how good it is, but really it's still a ways off from being a fully fleshed out game. Yeah, we'll see some. I'm sure we'll see some new fixes and new mechanics introduced over the next year or two that address this. And we're going to look back at the game in 2 years and think, "Wow, remember back then when the game was like this, and now it's really, really refined." It'll be quite a different experience, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to talk quickly about our favorite things in Valheim, and one of the thing we're going to talk about this week is our favorite Mistlands teasers. They've put out a bunch of Mistlands teaser images and little videos and little bits of information. So out of all of that, Gwen, what has been your favorite Mistlands teaser that you're looking forward to?
There was a lot of interesting things, from build piece to weapons to just new plants and mobs and so on. But I think the thing that caught my eye were the cute bunnies having rabbits in game, and the possibilities that would open up in terms of food, materials, and so on. And also because if, I don't know, most of you have probably watched Monty Python.
Oh, yeah.
There's always that thing in my mind of bunnies, like evil bunnies. And I'm like, I don't know if the bunnies are going to be nice or not. Now that I've seen turtles that look cute but actually bite, I'm thinking maybe the bunnies are actually, will attack you and stuff. So we'll see.
That's what inspired me to do that one little role-playing video that I did with
that's
Jiroc
right.
and Oric, where Oric discovers the little bunny in the Mistlands.
An evil bunny attacking you, like the one. What was the movie Pets with the white evil bunny?
That's Monty Python. Monty Python.
Oh no, he's talking
the,
about the animated thing. No? I think it is Pets with the evil bunny.
Yeah, it was Pets, right? With the dogs and finding the owner. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, The Secret Life of Pets.
It's a theme,
right? Wasn't it The Secret Life of Pets?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, what Monty Python? What was it? Knights of the Coconut, something like that.
It was the Holy Grail, right? Where
in Knights of the Coconut. What is that?
That's how it's called in German. That's how the movie translates.
Knights of the Coconut.
The Knights of the Coconut, I think. Or is it?
It is.
Am I missing?
No, it's in English it's Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but you're right. In German it's the Knights of the Coconut. That's amazing.
Well, sometimes the German translation is better than the original.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Go out there and chop its head off. No, it's got big teeth. It's a killer.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the Holy Grail once in your life, you definitely should check it out. It's pretty fun.
Probably one thing on anyone's bucket list.
Yeah,
should be at least.
Well, Tulkas, talking about favorite Mistlands teasers, I have absolutely no idea what could possibly be your favorite teaser from the Mistlands. Can you tell us?
Was that sarcasm?
Yes.
Well, I remember a couple of episodes ago talking about a two-handed sword coming to the game, and my wish apparently is coming through. There is a glowing two-handed sword coming, and I'm being modest. I was very happy when I heard about that one.
You actually screamed with joy.
Yeah, just maybe.
Yeah, before we started recording the podcast and having our pre-recording discussion, we mentioned it to Tulkas, and he squealed.
I actually rolled back from the microphone a little.
Yeah, to save our ears. Thank you.
Yeah, kinda. You're welcome. Girlfriend still probably checked in on what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, I knew you'd be excited about the new weapons, the crossbow.
Oh yeah,
the two-hander.
Yeah, the crossbow was like, oh, okay, pretty cool. Yeah, but the two-handed sword was like the thing, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing I was hoping for.
Well, what about you, Bambi? What are you looking forward to from all those teasers they've shown us?
I'm actually looking so forward to the new plants and flowers they teased us with.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I was going to say they showed us two really cool looking fungus mushroom things, also, right?
Yeah, they look so amazing. And to be honest, I'm curious how they look on an item stand. So I can decorate with them.
I was just going to say, you're probably already thinking about decorating with them.
Yes. Make chandelier or something? No.
Yeah, mushroom chandelier.
Yeah, but also the new recipes they're going to give us, because I actually like cooking in the game. I think it's an awesome feature. So yeah, I'm very curious of the new recipes we're going to get with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a bunch of new fun foods for us. And I wonder what special effects we're going to get from those foods. Probably some kind of effects to deal with whatever challenges are in the Mistlands, I would imagine.
It's probably gonna be missed.
Yeah.
Gotta have a potion for the poisonous air in the Mistlands, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, on our Season 2 servers, even our Mistlands are deadly. You're going to need help. You'll see when you get there.
Well, to be honest, I think the Yaglut thingy that drops now and we cannot do anything with it, I think we're going to be able to make like some kind of lantern with it to drive out the mist that's going to be in the Mistlands.
Oh, that's a fun idea. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's excellent.
Because it gives light, so.
Yeah. Well, for the Mistlands teasers, a lot of that stuff is really cool. But for me, when the Frost Caves came out, not only was just a cool dungeon for the players to experience and for, as an admin for me to run events in, but with it came a bunch of new build pieces, not just the ones that players could build, but the ones that the admins could build that only spawn in the dungeons. So I really like the dungeon teaser with the sticky webs, and I can't wait to see what assets they populate the new dungeon with that I'll have access to as admin and I can use in our POIs and creating new content for the players. Anytime I get, these new little assets to make cool things for the players as like a game master, I get so excited. So, I can't wait to see what assets they add there. I don't think we still have any idea what making those sticky webs, right?
Nothing is making those webs.
Giant worms, silkworms.
Silkworms. Yeah, silk butterflies, even better.
Just giant centipedes running through tunnels underneath the ground.
Ooh, centipedes.
Oh yeah, that would
anything be except spiders.
Oh yeah, just picture walking through a dungeon, then just a giant centipede just comes around, sprinting around the corner. I would poop my pants.
Yeah. Well, before we close out this week, thank you to the less than 5% of the fans listeners who made it this far. You guys and gals are absolutely awesome. We are going to talk about interesting facts about us. And this week we're going to talk about a favorite novel or series of novels that we've read at some point in our lives. And Leaf did have to jump out early. And he mentioned here in his notes that for him, it was Lord of the Rings back in the day. And I know that Lord of the Rings is huge for a lot of people. It's actually one of those series that I never read. I did read The Hobbit, but I never did get to reading Lord of the Rings myself.
didn't say
Jiroc,
that.
if you want to keep friendship, you better get that book right now.
Hey, I have the all the movies, and I have extended versions of the movies, and I've watched them many times. I think that's all I need to know.
That's like watching Twilight and thinking that's the whole story.
It's enough story for me.
Yeah, well,
No, I'm sure it's a great read. So many people have fallen in love with it. But that said, Tulkas, what about you? What's a favorite novel or series that you read?
Well, I found this author, Rick Riordan, who wrote the Percy Jackson series.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically writing about a guy who finds out that he's a half-blood son of an ancient Greek god. And he made multiple series like that one. He made another one with Egyptian gods, and another series of books about Viking gods called Magnus, with the main character being Magnus Chase. And just the humor and the style of his writing has really hooked me up. I've been eating those books and waiting until the next one was released. This one, well, with the Viking thematic, that hooked me as well, and just this whole, just also some things mentioned in that book really hooked me. I found it really actually sometimes even brave, or not brave particularly, but very. I don't know how to put it in English at least. I could only give the example. For one thing, there is one character. He's a believing Muslim, and he is confronted with the fact that the Norse gods are there in the world meddling with the affairs, and that's just totally messes up his picture of the world. Being a Muslim and believing in Allah, and there's a interesting fact about how one of the gods actually tells him that then looking at how his siblings behave, sometimes he doesn't believe himself they are gods. That then how this all fits. And another thing, there is a in one of the books there is a gender fluid character appearing, and I haven't read many books with actual gender fluid characters in them.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that a lot. That's why it's in my memory so much. Right. I talked enough.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say with that kind of a character, it probably, gave an interesting perspective that we don't always get exposed to in stories or movies or TV shows.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just the usual hero time, but there's also some very interesting questions about life, and do some things really matter to anything? And yeah, go on. Bambi, what?
Bambi's got.
What's your favorite?
Gotta go.
Bambi. Oh, all right. Sorry. Then Gwen, please. What's your favorite book?
But wait, is Bambi definitely gone?
1 minute.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, so mine is, it's hard to say. I've not read many books of late, but as a kid, I used to devour books like nothing. And I was a big Harry Potter fan as well, but I won't cite that one because it's been mentioned before. However, I really liked adventure books. So Treasure Island, for example, is a classic that I really enjoyed. Just, escapism, and, finding treasures and stories of pirates and stuff like that. I used to really like that. Another book from a French author that I really enjoyed, and it's a lot darker. It's quite a difficult story to read, especially as a kid, but still it was such a well-written book. And most people would know that book from the musical that has been made popular in the past decade, which is Les Misérables.
Mm-hmm.
Or Les Mis, as people call it. And that musical, of course, comes from a book written by Victor Hugo. who's a prominent author from the 19th century in France, and he was one of the first authors to really talk about like life in those times, in Victorian times, and how inequalities and how tough things were. And the story itself is really poignant, and it just highlights so many things in life at the time. And yeah, I just really like that book. So yeah, that's my one, I think.
Cool. For me, growing up, I read A Boy's Life by Robert McCammon, and just a book about a boy. I think he was about 12 years old, growing up in a small town and getting into adventures and little bits of mystery in the town that had to be solved. Written by, did I say Robert McCammon? And it's a famous book, and I've always wished that they could make a decent movie out of it. And I if I remember correctly, there were a lot of Hollywood producers trying to get it made, but for whatever reason, it just never happened. But I think it would make an amazing coming of age story movie, or maybe even a TV show. But in my later years, I started reading a lot more nonfiction, but to stay in the fiction realm, The Kite Runner was an amazing book that takes place in, let's see, where did that take place? It was written by Khaled Hosseini, probably pronouncing that wrong, but it tells the story of Amir, a young boy from Wazir Akbar Khan district of Kabul. The story is set in a backdrop of tumultuous events from the fall of Afghan's monarchy through the Soviet Union invasion, the exodus of refugees to Pakistan and the United States, and the rise of the Taliban regime, but all through the eyes of this young boy. And my goodness, if you want to get this, a different perspective on what the world is for some people, what an amazing story, even though fictionalized story, but still a great exposure to what other cultures can potentially be like. I highly recommend that book. But my all-time favorite is still one of the authors I grew up with, and it's Robert E. Howard. He's the creator of Conan and Solomon Kane, and one of my favorite standalone books called Ulmeric, where it's this guy who's accused of a crime, and some scientist gives him the option to basically be transported to another planet in another universe to escape prosecution. And he goes there and discovers this very, primitive, kind of hard fantasy world that he has to incorporate himself into. It's a really short read, but it reads like lightning off the page, like watching a movie. I think you can read it in a day in one sitting. Still stands out really strong in my mind. But yeah, Robert E. Howard's writings, everybody thinks of, like Conan the Barbarian and the kind of simpleton that he was in that movie, but his writing is electric. He died really young, in his 30s, and it's amazing. Back then they didn't have TV and the internet and all that, so they had radio and they had books, and so people either read or wrote or got out, and most people worked young. But yeah, he died young, but he wrote so many amazing things. He has a huge cult following nowadays, and if you read any of his stories, it's easy to see why. But and what about you, Bambi? What is some of your favorite novel or series?
Well, my all-time favorite is Harry Potter from J.K. Rowling.
Oh yeah,
I like most young adult books, to be honest, because a lot of adult books are like how green the grass is and stuff like that. I'm somebody that likes to get to the point, so young adults books are more going into the point. But yeah, J.K. Rowling with Harry Potter, just wow. She created a whole new world. Just in the middle of our muggle world. People know what I mean. And
Yep.
I read all the books in English. I start with the Dutch version of Harry Potter 1, like the Philosopher's Stone. And then after that, I read all the books in English first because they came out in English first. And yeah, she got me like from every sentence. And I remember, I'm not giving any spoilers. If one of my favorite characters died in the book, right? I was like being at home and was with my ex-boyfriend, and you'll understand later why he's my ex-boyfriend now. But I was like reading Harry Potter, and Dumbledore died.
Oh
And I
no!
was sitting in
Spoiler
the
alert!
couch. I was sitting in the couch. I was crying my eyes out.
Aw.
And my ex-boyfriend came home. He was like, "Who died?" I was like, "Dumbledore died." He was like, "Who's Dumbledore?" Okay. Go. Yeah, but how she actually wrote the last book first and then the other ones, yeah, then you're a creative goddess, I think.
Well, it sounds like a pretty good series. Hopefully, if people listen to this podcast, it'll bring some attention to it and make it popular.
Yeah, it's not popular enough, right? And
Well, yeah.
the movies of it's just like they did such a good job, but yeah, they didn't do enough. There's so much more to the story than they're doing in the movies.
Oh, yeah. They.
Yeah.
So Bambi,
Yeah.
which house are you?
Which house I am? Gryffindor, of course. I like to be.
What?
Yeah,
Which?
but I actually liked Harry Potter so much. When the movies came out, I was trying to boycott Lord of the Rings on Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
I was like, no, Harry Potter is much better than Lord of the Rings, so no, I'm not gonna watch Lord of the Rings. Yeah, sorry.
You probably haven't been to the new Harry Potter world at Disneyland, then, have you?
Oh no, I want to go there so bad.
Oh, it is really amazing, I have to say.
You have been there?
Or
So
actually,
true.
it's not Disneyland. It's what, Universal Studios?
It's Universal
Yeah,
Studios.
Yeah, Universal Studios. Yeah. Universal Studios is only a few hundred miles from me, closer to where I grew up. But yeah, I've been there once, and my goodness, it's amazing what they've done. They make it feel really magical.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I have one favorite author as well. Not sure if she's English or American. And that's an adult writing. She does detectives. That's Mary Higgins Clark.
Oh,
She does
Oh my god,
amazing.
yes.
Yeah, you know her?
Yeah, I used to. So I had a phase in my teenage years where I used to read Mary Higgins Clark and Agatha Christie. I used to love reading those books because they're in the same kind of genre. It's like, yeah, murder mystery style.
Yeah, but I love how, like, Mary Higgins, most of the time already tells you who's done it. Straight away in the first chapter. Most of the time, not all of the time. But then it gets very interesting in the way she writes to, well, why did that person do it or how and stuff like that. Yeah, it's really, that's one of my favorites as well.
Awesome. Well, there you go. If anybody listening to this takes a break from Valheim to do some reading or maybe audiobook listening, there's a couple of our favorites for you to check out. And I think that's going to do it for us for this week. Thanks for joining me, everyone.
Thanks for having us. See you
Thanks
next
for
time.
having us.
And that's it for now. Have fun out there. Thank you for listening to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. We have new episodes coming out every Friday, and if you enjoyed listening, please support us by subscribing to the podcast on your favorite platform and leave us a rating and a review to help more Vikings find us. We also have a Patreon with perks for supporters like behind-the-scenes discussions, exclusive content, and segments that are edited out of the main podcast. And if you'd like to join our friendly Discord community, we have more than 1,000 people there. Just go to discord.gg/Jiroc the Viking. If you'd like to play on my Valheim servers, just go to my website at jiroctheviking.com and submit an application. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my supporters, some of them on Patreon, the YouTube membership, and the ones who help boost our Discord server. Your support means the world to me and inspires me to make more videos, as well as run a community Discord and multiple Valheim gaming servers. If you enjoy my videos and would like to support my work, join our friendly Discord community and Valheim servers. Links can be found in the description below. Skål!